Welcome to The Explainer, where we break down the big ideas. So today we're diving into something really interesting, a venture capital pitch. It's for a company called Fractal AI Technologies, or FAT for short. And they have this, well, incredibly bold plan to pretty much change how finance works. So this is the big question, right? It's really the entire idea behind their pitch. They're basically asking, can the same kind of AI that predicts the next word you're going to type, can that predict the next move in the stock market? It's a wild idea. Let's dig into what they're actually proposing. All right, first up. Every great pitch starts with a huge problem, right? And that's exactly where they begin, by pointing out a massive issue in the financial world that, just begs for a new solution. Okay, so they're talking about alpha. And if you're in finance, you know this is the holy grail. It's that secret sauce, that edge that lets you beat the market. But here's the problem they're highlighting, that alpha is disappearing. They're saying the old ways of finding it just aren't cutting it anymore. The markets are just too fast, too chaotic. And look at this number. This really puts it all into perspective. We're talking about a projected $5.25 trillion being managed by hedge funds in 2025. That is just a staggering amount of money. And all of it is desperately looking for that edge, that alpha that's just, well, vanishing. But here's what's really interesting. It's not just the big hedge funds feeling this pain. The pitch makes a great point. You've got tech giants like Meta. You've got super apps like Revolut. They're all hunting for new AI to keep their users hooked. So basically, everyone, from the biggest players down to regular investors, is looking for some kind of reliable, automated return. And the punchline? That kind of easy-to-use AI for predicting markets? It just doesn't exist. At least, not yet. Okay, so the problem's on the table. It's huge. So what's Fractal AI's big solution? Well, they call it an AI telescope. So, what is it? Well, the idea is pretty wild. It's an AI system that's completely autonomous, and it's designed to, peek into the future of the market. We're talking precise forecasts for things like Bitcoin, currencies, stocks. And it gives you these predictions 1 to 6 hours before it happens. Pretty incredible claim. And of course, they're not just making promises. They're showing what they say are real results. Look at this claimed accuracy. They're saying they get it right 66% of the time in those choppy sideways markets. But when the market's really moving in one direction, that number supposedly jumps to 77%. And this is the key part. They say this isn't just backtesting. They claim it was validated live, within 24 hours of turning the system on. I mean, this quote right here tells you everything you need to know about how big they're thinking. This isn't just some fancy tool for Wall Street. Now, their goal is to empower, well, basically everyone. We're talking 1 billion regular people, 1,000 wealthy family offices, and the 500 biggest hedge funds on the planet. They're going for the whole shebang. All right, let's talk about the tech itself, because this is where the story gets really, really fascinating. They actually trace the roots of their idea all the way back to a field you would never expect, the science of speech. So check out this timeline. They lay out this incredible historical path. It all starts back in the 80s at IBM Labs, where scientists were first figuring out how to use stats to translate speech. Then you get to Renaissance Technologies, the legendary hedge fund, and they took those exact same ideas and applied them to financial noise, making an absolute fortune. And now, Fractal AI is basically saying, we're the next step in that evolution. It's a really powerful narrative. And this slide just makes it all click. It's the perfect analogy. You know how ChatGPT works, right? You give it a sentence and it predicts the next word. Simple. Well, their AI telescope does the exact same thing, but instead of a sentence, its input is all the noise from the market. And instead of the next word, it predicts the next market move. When you think about it like that, it's just brilliant. Okay, so you've got this core technology, this really powerful idea, so how do you make money with it? Well, their business plan is fascinating because it targets 3 totally different and totally massive markets at the same time. Yeah, it's a 3-pronged attack, really. Step 1, go for the big fish. Offer licensing to the huge hedge funds. Step 2 is really cool. Create their own premium hardware, like a wearable device that has the predictive AI built right into it. And step 3, go for mass market domination. Integrate into apps like TikTok or Revolut with a super cheap daily subscription. Now that last part of the plan, they call it Fat Hope. And this is where you see just how massive their ambition truly is. This is their moonshot. So get this. The potential market they're looking at for this Fat Hope service, 6 billion people. That's what you get when you add up the users on platforms like Meta and Telegram. It's a mind-boggling number. And how on earth do you even try to reach a market that big? Well, you make it cheap. Their plan is to charge just $1, a dollar a day. So let's just do some quick math here. $1 a day. If they can get just 1 million of those 6 billion potential users to sign up, that's $1 million in revenue per day. That right there, that potential for crazy exponential growth, that's the hook for the investors. So we get to the big question. What are they asking for? What's the price of admission for this big dream? Well, here's their funding ask. Their main target is to raise $3.5 million in exchange for 23% of the company. That gives them a valuation of about $15 million. But you'll notice they've also got options for smaller investments, which is a really smart way to tell investors, hey, we're flexible. We just want to make this happen. So there you have it. It's a really compelling story, isn't it? It draws this clean line from decoding human speech to decoding the market. The vision is huge, bringing alpha to everyone, empowering 1 billion people. But the question is, can they actually pull it off? Can this amazing idea become the future of finance? Or is it all just a fat hope? That's the multi-million-dollar question on the table.